Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another video. This week I would like to discuss Kratom, kind of revisit that, as that was, I guess, my first videos mainly that really drew a lot of attention were Kratom, and I still get asked a ton of questions about it. So this video is going to be to kind of address two of the questions that I get a lot from people. One that I want to share is an easier way to get off Kratom than what I did, which was just took a leap and went full-blown cold turkey on it. A lot of people can't do that because of obligations, with family, children, work, whatever the case may be. They can't take, 3 to 7 days off or whatever it may be for their withdrawal to where they're feeling well enough. So I wanted to give an easier way to do that, to get off instead of the cold turkey method that I just jumped into, as well as an update on my own use. People have been asking about that, how I'm doing with Kratom. So a little bit of my backstory. I have, if you're new to my channel, I have a bunch of videos down below about Kratom and my withdrawal experience. I videotaped it while I was actually going through the cold turkey, as well as some ways to do, if you are going to do cold turkey, easier ways to do it, and what I used to get through it. Basically, I was using really high dose Kratom for 9 months, I guess it was. And by high dose, I believe I was somewhere in like the 50 to 60 gram range a day. It was an all day thing. I always constantly had like a shaker cup of Kratom in my hand, just straight dipping. So, in the morning, I remember waking up and just feeling like I'd been beaten, run over by a truck, and had the flu on top of it. So, it wasn't fun. Every day was a withdrawal experience until I got the Kratom going. So I did just jump. I just withdrew. I used the aid of a few, different supplements, different things that I did to make it a little bit easier. And I detail that in one of my videos. I believe it's how to withdraw from Kratom the easy way. So I do explain those ways. That's for the cold turkey people. That's for the people that want to just jump. But with me, what I did was I did the cold turkey. I did experience PAWS, which is the post-acute withdrawal symptoms or syndrome, which is basically anxiety, depression, lack of energy, all kinds of things play into that. And that can last quite a while, to be honest. That's usually the hardest part I find a lot of people have, is making it beyond that, to where they can get to where they're no longer experiencing that and they're back to their baseline again before they started Kratom. It does happen. It does, you do get past that. I want to let you know. People have asked if I have gone back to Kratom, and full disclosure, I do use it on occasion. I generally try to use it. I experience pain and anxiety daily basis, so I try to use it only, limit it to when I really need to. And by doing that, using it rarely, sparingly, smaller doses, I have not experienced withdrawal again. I have not had any problems with using and then stopping, just because I use for such a limited amount of time. I never want to go back to what for me was horror, going through the withdrawals. I've withdrawn off OxyContin and, different opiates as well as heroin, but and it's similar, and I'm not going to say that this is on that level. Definitely easier than that, but it's no fun, and I wouldn't want to go through it again. So basically, that is my experience. I do use it on occasion. People have asked about that, but have used it, I guess, responsibly this time around. So have not experienced the withdrawal effects, which good. That's the only reason I would still use. If I told myself if I ever did experience those withdrawals again from my use, then no mas. I would not continue on. So anyways, what I find is a lot of people are afraid of the withdrawals, or can't do the withdrawals cold turkey, just because of like I said before, obligations, work, children, whatever it may be, just can't take those days off to do it. So as well as, I guess, a lot of people are they're not looking forward to what they perceive is going to be a very hard time going through the withdrawals. So what I want to suggest is a gentler way, and I haven't discussed this in my videos prior to this, so I want to discuss this now, a gentler way to go through the Kratom withdrawal. And what I would experience, or what I would recommend in this case, would be to do small 10% drops each week. And by doing that, I do believe you would really limit, if not fully escape, the withdrawal symptoms. You'd be able to function still and, carry on with life, with maybe some mild discomfort, but generally, because it's such a slow step down and because it's over a week period, your body has time to adjust. I think it should be really minimum for most people. So what does that look like? Well, my recommendation would be a 10% withdrawal or a 10% cut in your dosage. If you're at, it depends on how you take it, actually. If you do take it in pills, you can eyeball them out. It doesn't need to be exact, but you want to just be making that effort to each week, whatever day you start, be it Sunday or Monday, say this is my day for my cut, and move forward. And every time that you reach that date, cut it again 10%. I believe by that point, your body will have had time to adjust in those 7 days to prepare for the next lower drop, if that makes sense. Now, what I would also recommend in line with that is that as you're weaning down, your goal is to just keep your morning dose. And the reasoning behind that is because the morning dose is the one that's usually the hardest to go without, because that's the one we start our day with. And it just feels like, I really feel that's the hardest one to lose. So 10% cuts on your, perhaps you would take a regular dose in the morning. If you take 3 times a day, take once in the morning only, then, obviously start cutting just that 10% right there. But if you take a 3 or 4 dose schedule like most people do with Kratom, I would recommend starting to cut your other doses, leaving your morning dose as your stabilizer, and then cutting 10% of those other doses that you're taking. Just start cutting as a whole 10%, if I'm making sense. But using those other doses, but keeping your morning dose stable. And then my idea of thinking there is that you will, in time, eliminate your other 2 or 3 doses in the afternoon to where you're just on that one dose in the morning that gets you going, and then you can slowly just kind of wean off of that at a 10% cut per week. So I have spoken to a lot of people. This isn't from personal experience I'm sharing this with you, but I have spoken to a lot of people that do really slow withdrawal, and they're just rocking it. It's just unbelievable. So that would be my recommendation, just from what I've gathered, is to just do the slow, easy, gentle one if you can. Unfortunately, I'm kind of an all or nothing type, so I just jumped. I just left, like I said, without any weaning. But if I had to do it all over again, I would definitely go the slower route. I think I've become able to limit myself and be a little bit more responsible with Kratom at this point, so that I would be able to wean down, which would be the easy route. So that's just what I wanted to share today, the update and the weaning idea here. If you've experienced weaning, if you've tried it, if you've done it, if you've succeeded, please comment below. Let other people know how it's worked out for you. If you have any questions, please throw them down below. I try to answer all comments that I get, unless they're trolls. And then, give a like, give a subscribe. Every Wednesday I throw out a new video. It's not always on Kratom, but it's on different subjects that are designed to improve health and well-being and kind of make you feel better. Kind of shortcuts, I guess, because I'm not the type that goes by kind of the standard, ways of healing. I'm not opposed to it, but I'm just generally my personality. I find that these other things work better. So if you'd like, please subscribe, throw a like up if this video helped you at all. And again, comments below. And that's it. I hope if you do the wean down approach, that it goes well for you, smooth as I've heard other people have had. And again, any questions, comments, please throw them down below, and I will try to answer them all. Okay. Thank you. And until next week.